And welcome race fans back to Pit Stop TV. Live as usual to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch tonight. We have the Dirt Car Racing Gear Midget Series, kind of a fun run tonight from Limaland, Ohio. This place pretty much just down the road, almost on the same campus as UNOH, the University of Northwestern Ohio. The school uses this track for all kinds of things. They have a drag strip, obviously this quarter-mile dirt oval, and tonight we're going to run some legends around this place. It's pretty high banked here, Brendan, and that's certainly going to throw these midgets for a bit of a loop.
Yeah, definitely. You gotta watch out on that back stretch. The wall on the high side tends to pinch you pretty easily.
So as we get ready to roll here tonight from Limaland, qualifying wrapping up, I do have Brendan Elshoff alongside of me. Brendan, been quite a while since we've had you here in the Pit Stop TV booth, but we figured we're bringing dirt back to the channel, have to bring you back on, even if it's just for this one race. And I know you've actually been working on a bit of a dirt program of your own, and actually in relatively close proximity to Limaland here. Granted, you're in Illinois as opposed to Ohio. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I have a dirt street stock racing program going on with a good buddy of mine at Fairbury Speedway, actually, which is on the service. So it's pretty cool to, go home and be able to race at the track that we actually get to race at every Saturday night. And hopefully we'll get underway here before too long if they start lifting restrictions. We get to go racing.
For sure. Well, as we roll over into our first heat race of the night, should just have two, maybe a third. Let's go ahead and roll down your starting grid for Heat 1. Kevin Hebert, I'm sorry, there's some French names in here. We're going to botch those. It throws us back, actually, to some of the older days when we broadcasted some other Canadian and French leagues. But Kevin, we're going to say Hebert, possibly. William Racine starting outside of him. That's your front row. Moving back to row number 2, we've got Alan Carrier. And then Maxime Plant starting in the 4th position. Donovan Lessier and Benoit Savoy starting 5th and 6th. All the way back to row 4 to round this thing out. Starting 7th, Tommy Lavallee rounds out your Heat 1 starting grid. So as these guys get ready to roll off of the starting grid, you see just 7 cars for your first heat. And of course, we've been covering a lot of oval and road racing where you have larger fields. You don't have these small fields of these 7-car heat races. So, Brendan, tell us about how much of a staple heat races are and how important they are to dirt racing and making sure we can get 100 entries down to 20.
Yeah, dirt racing it's really crazy. It's the hometown racing, and then you'll put on a big show. Wherever it's at, and you'll have people from all over the country show up just wanting to race. That's what you find a lot in the modified and late model divisions, even the sprint car divisions especially. All across the country people will come race, so it's hard to narrow that down into a small field.
So as we get ready to go green here, the pace truck down and away, green flag comes out, and we're off and away. Kevin Hebert leading the way on the top side. See the Pennzoil number 71. He already gets passed up there. Looks like, Alan Carrier going to the P1 position, puts a slide job on him, and the rest of the field fans out to 3 and 4 as Hebert going to lead. Sorry, Carrier. Hebert will lead lap 1. A little bit of numbers getting mixed up there. My bad.
71 of Hebert pulling away now is a big wreck into turn 3. The 27 of Benoit Savoy. He's going to get caught up in that one. He's going to pull down, jump over the tire, try and get back going here. Looks like he will.
So around the top side, actually, for the second place battle goes, it looks like the number 71 car of Hebert. He's trying to get this thing sorted out. And, we're brand new to these drivers and paint schemes, so we're going to get some of these mixed up. But you see the battling going on right now for the second place position. About a 4-way battle as Hebert actually leads the way. So that was my bad. I think that was Carrier I was looking at towards the middle part of the field.
Hebert here taking him into turn 3, coming towards lap 6 of 10 for this heat. Let me see behind him, some good action going on for the second position.
As we continue getting that fast lap notification across the top of your screen, it looks like Not sure of the car number there going off on the tires, but he's going to get that sorted out, it looks like, as the rest of the field is going to start to power away. Having a couple of issues with scoring on my end, so it's going to be difficult for me to pick out what driver's which, but nonetheless, we've got Midget Racing here. 4 laps to go. We come back across the line for 3.
Everett there is going to cross the line on lap number 8. He's pulled a sizable lead to the guys racing for second place now. See, good 3 wide action there going into turn 2. Or 4, sorry, excuse me. I was on the wrong side of the track there for a second.
And of course, these tracks are obviously small. A quarter-mile dirt track here in Limaland, Ohio. It's easy to get it mixed up. As Racine going to lead the second-place battle that has kind of broken up a little bit from the looks of things. A little hard for me to keep some of these numbers straight. But it looks like the number 79 of Plant going to try and make a move here on Racine for that second-place position here at the end of the heat. We'll say 4 drivers transfer on from each heat. The 00 is going to end up taking that 4th spot. That was Lussier. And actually, he gives a shot there to the 35 of Racine. Turns him around after the heat finishes up there. So Hebert going to win the heat. Then it's Racine, Plant, and Lussier rounding out your top 4 that will transfer on to the feature tonight. Dubois going to lead your way here over Poirier in our second of what should just be 2 heats tonight. I don't think we'll have a third, but we possibly could. 7 cars on tap tonight. Brendan, roll us through the grid.
All right. So starting off on the pole, we have Matthew Dubois in the 18 car. P2 on his outside will be Jordan Poirier in the number 10. And then starting third, we're going to have Etienne Menard in the 01. 4th place will go to the number 9, Danik Sylvester. 5th place is going to be, Mick Benoit. And for 6th place, we have Xavier Lozon. And rounding out number 7 will be Philip Normandin.
So Dubois going to lead us to the green flag. Had some inverts because Mick Dubois put that car on pole. Or sorry, Mick Benoit. Again, getting used to names. So Dubois leads you through turns 1 and 2. When we've got a car up in the fence, that was Poirier who got up into the wall in turns 1 and 2. He gets that sorted out, though, gets it back pointed straight. The 01 going to roll down the bottom side. That's Menard trying to get the pass there. Lausen going to move up into 4th. We've got Sylvestre, Benoit, and Normandin figuring out the rest of these spots.
Then you'll see a lot of the guys that are going to fan all the way to the bottom or all the way to the top here. It's going to be hard to go through in the middle. It's really slick through there. So you see the leader at the moment, the number 10. He's going to stick to the high side, but you see a couple of guys down there fishing on the bottom trying to make it work.
So Poirier going to round out with this thing. Well, I should say pull away with this lead over the 18 of Dubois. He's got company from Menard behind. And again, still getting used to some of these drivers, but it looks like already Poirier, one of the better ones to beat, along with Hebert, who won that previous heat. But really, it seems like these guys, a very level playing field right now. The track is pretty well slicked off for the most part. It can get a whole lot slicker, though, as you're already starting to see a very dry groove work its way in. But there's still some moisture up through that top middle groove that these guys are trying to farm and try and get some grip on.
Yeah, definitely. And I think as the night progresses, we'll see guys starting to stick to the top, and then they're going to fish down towards the middle a little bit, try and get some drive off. There's still a little bit of moisture left through there. Yeah, before too long, the bottom and the middle are going to be sealed off on entry.
So right now we're looking at this battle for what will be P2. It looks like Mick Benoit currently, well, he's up into 3rd. So actually that's a couple positions back. I think that's for 3rd. My bad. Yeah, there are 2 cars ahead. So Dubois ahead of this battle. Mick Benoit down around the bottom side, the black, green, and white 25. Then you've got Normandin. Philip Normandin trying to round the top side, work that top, work the cushion to get around Benoit. Can't quite do it just yet. Has about 2 laps to go to try and get this thing done. So a half a mile to get up to 3rd place. But I will say Normandin in the feature as of right now. Menard, Lausen, Sylvestre will be going to the consolation race, the B-main, if you will. As Benoit going to come around and take the white flag for 3rd. But up at the front, Poirier is coming down the back straightaway, already getting ready to go into turn 3 to wrap this second heat up.
Yeah, you see him working the high side. Here he comes across the line. It's going to be heat number 2 winner. 2nd place will go to Dubois. And Benoit will take 3rd. And rounding out will be Normandine, excuse me, going to the feature.
And we'll see. It looks like that's taking us into warm-up, so I think that will set your field.
Yeah.
I think everybody's going to advance on in. 15 cars have showed up, and it looks like, I think we actually had
14,
17 that were allowed into the feature. So 14, I guess, active. One must have disconnected. So we're going to go ahead. We'll take a commercial break as these guys get warmed up around this quarter-mile speedway, and we'll be right back to you. This is Pit Stop TV's coverage of the DirtCarRacingGear.com Midget Series from Limaland. And welcome back, race fans, to Pit Stop TV. Tonight's live coverage of the Dirt Car Racing Gear Midget Series from Limaland Speedway. Benoit Savoy currently P1 here in warm-up, getting ready to go into the feature. Everybody transferring on. Maxime Plant currently sitting second. Then it's Kevin Hebert. He won his heat. Jordan Poirier also won a heat. He is currently running fourth on the time chart. So we got Donovan Lessier fifth. Philip Normandine sixth, Mick Benoit, then it's Xavier Lausen, Alan Carrier, and William Racine. So that's your top 10 through warm-up. Some other drivers tacking on a little bit further back, but a lot of these guys already looking pretty darn good here through warm-up. Seeing it looks like 18 laps put down by Benoit Savoy, your current leader here in warm-up, and everybody decently close to one another. Only a couple of tenths spreading your field for the most part. at least all the way back through your top 10, all the way back through your top 12, only about 2.8 tenths, if you will, so 0.28 seconds. As we wrap this warm-up session up and get ready to go on into your 40-lap feature. And Brendan, we saw some interesting heat racing, some relatively clean heat racing, actually. You don't always see the best heat racing here on the service sometimes, but these guys actually put on a pretty decent show. So we're going to go ahead and roll down your grid. Brendan, go ahead and take us through that top 10.
Alrighty. So starting on the pole will be Kevin Hebert. And position number 2 to his outside will be Jordan Poirier. And starting row number 2 will be William Racine on the inside with Matthew Dubois on his outside. And starting row number 3 we will have Maxine Plant. To his outside we'll go Mick Benoit. And then for row number 4 on the inside we have Donovan Lucier. And to his outside we'll have Philip Normandine. And rounding out row number 5, excuse me, will be Alan Carrier on the inside, and to his outside will be Xavier Lozon.
A little further back, we've got Tommy Lavalley 11th, Etienne Menard. Further back, Benoit Savoy, who went P1 there in warm-up, then Danick Silvestre as well. He's lining up 14th for this race, and he will bring up the caboose for this 40-lap feature. Kevin Hebert getting ready to send it off and away. Green flag here as we round turn 2, getting ready to go back down the back straightaway for the final time before green flag racing in your feature tonight. A fun run for these guys put on by Dirt Car Racing Gears. The pace truck dives back into the pit lane. Green flag flies on the field. We are green flag racing from Limaland.
See, right away people are going to go straight to the top or to the bottom, just a couple through the middle here. This Hebert still got the lead at the moment. The 10 looking to his inside, that's Poirier. Going to try and fish the bottom, slide up. He did get ahead there. I don't know if we do have a caution.
There's a yellow further back. It looks like Matthew Dubois going to be part of this. We'll see exactly what happened. Get a replay up on your screen here in just a moment. So we're going to go all the way back to the start here and see exactly what happens. I think it was on the second lap here. Dubois, I believe, was involved in this. He definitely went from the front to the back of the field here. He started 4th in this race and is already all the way back to about, well, now I think in the pit lane, 14th position. Was about 12th before we had the before he came down the pit lane. So we'll see what happens here. You see the whole field fanning out, and yeah, he clipped that outside wall coming out of 4 on the second lap and went for a bit of an interesting ride there into turn 1, and that's what does it there. That's what brings out your first caution of the night. Matthew Dubois gets contact with the wall, but Jordan Poirier going to be your leader.
Yeah, he managed to get that slide job in just in time right before the caution came out.
So Poirier over Hebert coming to the green flag, down the back straightaway. Pace truck going to dive down to the safety of pit lane. The number 10 of Poirier going to light those rear tires up, dig for grip down on that bottom side, and we're back green flag racing already. The field fanning out. You see the bottom line, the top line, is setting themselves up. Hebert going to clear, it looks like, Racine down to the bottom side. Here comes the NOS machine. That's going to be Plant, I believe, to the top.
And 4 wide for 3rd place there.
4 wide into turn 1. Mick Benoit gets into somebody there. That was the double O, I believe, of Lessier, but they worked that out.
Let's see. Everybody's still fighting for position there. Oh, a little more contact. Oh, we have one flipping on the end of turn 1, excuse me.
And that's Racine turned over in turns 1 and 2. We'll see if that brings out a yellow. It does not. So lap 8 of 40 going to continue on. Hebert is retaking the lead over Poirier. Those two nose to tail. Some interesting moves for the back. Carrier trying to get into this one. He's actually leading that battle over Plant. And well, now that he falls victim to a couple of those passes as the caution's going to come out further back. It looks like Mick Benoit going to be turned over down the back straightaway into turn 3. We'll see what happened to him. So Mick Benoit, the black, green, and white machine, the number 25. You saw Racine flipping in the right side of your screen there towards the start of this replay, and then something's going to happen here to Mick Benoit. We'll see what it is. Well, that was out of turn 4. I think it's going to happen right here out of turn 2. Something's going to pop up for this 25 car. Oh, somebody was coming down the racetrack and clipped him, sent him over. And that may have been... was that... I'm not sure who that was, actually. It might have been Lavalley. It was. The number 74 of Tommy Lavalley is going to send him around. And again, apologies if we butcher any names here tonight. A little bit different language kind of giving us some of these names. Unfortunately, some French names out here. A little bit tough for us to get used to. Of course, we don't know these guys all that well. Coming on tonight to broadcast, kind of a last-minute deal. But Poirier going to restart this race. Lap 12, now lap 13 of 40, and he's going to lead. He's going to go right to the top side over Hebert, and here comes Plant down to the bottom side. He noses ahead for a moment. Actually going to give the right rear treatment there to the 71 of Hebert. As around the top side, right, ripping that cushion, goes Alan Carrier for a moment.
He was all over the top of that cushion there. He's fighting for it, trying to get by the NOS Energy machine there. Gonna get the door shut on him. Gonna try again around the outside. Not enough momentum that time. His Poirier actually gonna get tagged there.
Around.
Yeah.
He's gonna save it. That was a pretty good little 360, but a caution comes out for the back.
Yeah, the 25 slow on the infield there, it looked like.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to do it here for us in this caution is Mick Benoit. I think exiting the pit lane is going to trigger that caution. Nothing Mick did wrong, obviously. He's got to get on the racetrack. He's got to get up to speed, but unfortunately iRacing detected the slow car and threw that yellow because everything else was saved, and I think that's what's going to bring that one out. But we saw Poirier have a really interesting save, middle of the field. You know, I just want to get a replay of that, actually, from his onboard. And see how that was for him. He caught the wall into one and then gets hit and just lets it do a 360. Gets back going. A little bit of help from Lavalley. Gets that thing righted and gets back on the throttle. Goes away and then a caution comes out. But that was a pretty impressive save.
Yeah, definitely. These midgets, it's really hard not to just stomp on the gas when you're getting spun around. And if you do that, then it'll pick the nose up right away and you can end up on your lid pretty easily.
That you can. So as these guys get re-racked and re-stacked, Hebert going to be your leader, Maxime Plant P2, then it's Alan Carrier, Danique Silvestre, Donovan Lessier in 5th. That's your top 5 coming to the green flag. We're just about halfway in this feature race. Lap 18, now lap 19 of 40.
You see the Pennzoil machine of Herbert has the lead at the moment. The NOS Energy machine on the outside. Looks like they make a little bit of contact there. We're still green, though.
Thankfully. As more contact to Hebert and the double O of Lessier. Here comes the 79, though. Plant down to the bottom side. A big slide job over the 71 of Hebert. He's going to make it work, but the crossover now from the 71. Going to take that lead back into one. Slides him again. Puts that Nerf bar right on the bumper bar of the 79. Clears in the crossover. Tries to happen there from that NOS machine. Doesn't quite work. He's going to try and put a slider. Ooh, that was... I'm not sure that was going to work, but the 71 there lifts for Plant. And Hebert's going to retake the lead with his own slide job into one.
And Poirier's back into 3rd already. He's working the outside now.
Poirier through the middle. They're going to get that worked out. Silvestre down to the bottom. Poirier going to be the winner. Now here comes the 87 of Savoy motoring on by. He got the momentum out of turn 2, running that top side. And that's the big advantage to running the top is you get that big motor, that big momentum down the straightaway. And it just helps you motor by somebody, clear them back as long as they give you the lane to do so, though. Otherwise, you got to try and turn down underneath them, and that's pretty tough to do.
Yeah, and the high side with the cushion at right now is about the only spot where you're going to be able to take it wide out through the back stretch. People now are going to be searching a lot for traction and grip here. See the track's slicked up probably 3/4 of the way up to the track now. There's very little grip down there, so we have a caution.
Philip Normandy turned over on his lid there out of turn number 2. We'll see what happens to him. Watch the well, Normandine is going to be the 19 car, so the TMC 19, bottom of the racetrack, going to catch a tire, starts to do a wheelie, catches another tire with the right rear, and that sends him up. He almost had the landing stuck and could have powered out of that one, but unfortunately going to have to take the tow as he ends up on his lid on a turn number 2, 14 laps to go. These guys are going to have to get re-racked, restacked to go back green. Nick Benoit getting a wave around, it looks like, at the bottom of the racetrack. He's 3 laps down. Philip Normandine now falls to 1 lap down, so it might have actually been a free pass. We'll see there from Mick Benoit. But regardless, he's going to get a lap back. Now 2 laps down. William Racine currently 3 down, and Matthew Dubois 4 laps down. So that's the back end of your field. The top 10, though, all on the lead lap, which is pretty good to see after about 20 laps. Well, actually, no, almost 30 laps now. Over half, almost 3/4 of our feature event as we get ready to go back green flag racing.
Yeah. There's a quarter-mile track here. Laps go by quick.
Green flag.
Herbert's going to take the green. I'd like to roll through the middle there. Let's see how it works for him. Gets a decent drive off down the back stretch. Going to try it again.
Plant trying to roll the top and get a run on Hebert there. Can't quite do it. Poirier through to third. He's working the bottom side right on those tires. Clipped him a little bit there through 1. But he does get a lot of ground made up that way. Just kind of pedaling it down to the bottom side. And you see Hebert react. And boy, Poirier's all over those wheels. Wheelie out of turn 4.
Yeah, and that's what you have to be careful for when you're going to fish the tires like that. It'll catch you quick and it can flip you, or you end up doing a big wheelie like he did and lose some time there.
He's quick down there, though. He's making tons of time on these leaders as they're trying to power through the slick, and it's not totally working out there for Plant as he's washing all the way up to the top side, then trying to get back into the gas. And it's going to work out for Hebert, though. He's going to take that lead by a little bit over Plant into 3. Plant going to work that top side one more time, see if he can try and get some ground made up. And he's actually going to get to the outside there of Hebert into 1, but this track is so wide you almost wouldn't know it. So Plant going to try and put the power down out of 2. He's going to draw even there with Hebert for a moment into 3, trying to make this pass work all over that cushion. Plant going to ride at that time, Eva again across the stripe. Caution comes out for the back. Tommy Lavalley is stopped on the outside of turn 2. So we'll see what happens here to the Lavalley machine, the number 74. We saw him make some contact earlier with Mick Benoit. This time, the Wix Filters machine gets into the tires at the bottom of the racetrack, tries to cross the racetrack, and then gets stuck out on the top side and brings that caution out. So it's going to set us up for a pretty interesting restart here to finish this race off. Currently 6 to go as they're catching the pace truck. We should restart with about 4 to go. And that's certainly going to put pressure on these guys. Mick Benoit getting a lap back there on the bottom side. You see him go by the pace car. It looks like that's going to be Normandine going around for one of his laps back. So trying to keep some of these guys in the race. Normandine 4 laps down now. Dubois 4 laps down. Racine 3. And Benoit now only 1 lap down. So trying to get some of these guys back in the race.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I think any of this top 3 at the moment is going to have a shot at winning this still. They're all over each other.
Oh, absolutely. I think anybody really in the top 5 is a pretty good shot. You go back to 5th place, actually. You've got Xavier Lausen. So I think really we haven't seen much of him tonight, but I think he's in a pretty darn good spot. Silvestre to his outside. Those guys could be in the catbird seat if something happens to your top 4. We've even seen some good stuff out of Savoy there in 4th place. And a really interesting start. They clobber those tires there on the bottom side, but Hebert going to power away that Pennzoil machine already back into the lead. Poirier working the bottom, Plant working the top. They draw even down the back straightaway.
Let's see, the cushion's working out really well right now. Sliding up. And like you mentioned, Andrew, all that momentum that helps you coming outside, dealing with the higher, the longer distance around the outside, but you have more speed coming out. And these guys on the bottom are really fighting for grip right now. I know it looks a lot easier than it is, but really it's mostly part-time on the throttle, just feeling for the grip, trying to get the car to turn.
We've taken the white flags for the last couple of corners here for Hebert, trying to defend over Plant. Plant going to try and work the top side and see if he can make the pass. Poirier for 3rd. I don't think that's going to change. Across the line, Hebert is going to win. Plant can't get it done. He throws it for a loop. I think in a little bit of frustration, but that was a really good run trying to get back to him. Kevin Hebert, though, going to win this race. We'll take you through your finishing results here in just a moment after we see the celebration here from the 71. But that was some pretty good racing. Hebert, I think, obviously just had one of the better cars. I think Poirier might have had the best car working that bottom side, but sometimes it just doesn't quite work out for you.
Yeah, unfortunately, he got set back down into 10th place with that incident earlier. Made quick work of it up to 3rd, but some good drivers up front there that really gave him a battle for his money there.
So some of these guys continue to run around the racetrack and do some celebration laps. We aren't going to have interviews tonight in this coverage of the Dirt Car Racing Gear fun run here from Limaland Speedway. But what I can tell you is we can go through your race results. Obviously going to be beginning off with Kevin Hebert. But Maxime Plant is going to come home second place, and it's Jordan Poirier with a really good run coming back up to the field. He finishes off in third. Xavier Lausen hangs on for fourth, and it's Benoit Savoy who led warm-up, actually, a really fast car, but only manages a fifth place finish here, Brendan.
Yeah, in sixth place we ended up having Danik Sylvester. Seventh place tonight's going to go to Donovan Lucier. Eighth place goes to Etienne Menard. Ninth place going to Tommy Levalie. And rounding out 10th place goes to Alan Carrier.
A little further back, Mick Benoit recovers for an 11th place finish, but doesn't quite get back on the lead lap. 1 lap down officially. William Racine is going to have to settle for 12th place, 2 laps down, while Matthew Dubois comes home 13th, 6 laps down, and Philip Normandine, 6 laps down as well, finishes 14th in this feature event. That will do it tonight for our quick little coverage here of the Dirt Car Racing Gear Midget League here, Midget Series rather. My brain totally stopped working for a second. The Dirt Car Racing Gear Midget Series from Limaland. A bit of a fun run tonight. Run and hosted sessions here on iRacing, and I think a pretty darn good race. Had a full practice qualifying and heat format, and really gave us a good taste of this midget racing around Limaland.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good, tight little track. It's fun with the midgets. You really race hard with each other. It's hard with the bigger cars to get on top of each other as much as the midgets can. And they definitely put on a good show tonight.
So that will do it tonight for us. We thank you for joining. You can follow us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/pitstoptv. Over on Twitter at pitstoptv_. You can search it for us on YouTube by just typing in pitstoptv and looking for some of our broadcasts, or you can follow us over on Twitch even at www.twitch.tv/pit_stop_TV. And again, that does it for our coverage tonight of the Dirt Car Racing Gear Midget Series from Limaland. A fun run tonight, and Kevin Hebert going to come out on top over Maxime Plant in what was a pretty good battle to the start and finish line. A lot of really good racing out of these guys. Happy to come along for the coverage. Jordan Poirier comes home third, and hopefully we get some more of this dirt racing here on the channel. But that'll do it. I'm Major Cardinale IV. Brendan Ellshoff alongside me in the booth tonight. And we will see you tomorrow for coverage of the SRCA IndyCar World Series from Pocono Raceway.